Imagine two people earning the same salary, living in the same city. By the 10th of the month, one of them is checking their balance and the other isn't. If that sounds familiar, by the end of this, you will know exactly why this happens. And it's probably not what you're thinking. It's not discipline, it's not spending habits, it's not even income. So, what's actually causing this difference? It comes down to one number. Most people don't even realize this number exists. It's your survival amount. And this is where things start going wrong. Most people think they know this number, but if they actually calculate it, they are usually wrong. So, how do you figure this out? It's actually very simple. Just ask yourself one question before any expense. If this disappears tomorrow, does your month stop? I don't mean uncomfortable, I don't mean inconvenient. I mean, does your life actually stop functioning? If the answer is yes, it's survival. If the answer is no, it isn't. That's the only rule. Let's apply this to something simple so it becomes clear. Take food delivery for example. Say 2000 a month. If you stop ordering, your month still continues. So that's not survival. Now take rent, for example 15,000 per month. If you don't pay it, everything stops. That is survival. So the difference is not what you spend money on. The real difference is what you believe you can't live without. Even I used to get this wrong too. I remember checking my account around the 9th of the month and realizing I had no idea where my money was going. At that time, everything felt important. The gym, subscriptions, eating out, all of it felt necessary. But when I actually went through it properly, none of those were survival expenses. I had been confusing things I need with things I would miss, and those are not the same. Once you apply that question, the list becomes surprisingly small. It's usually things like your rent or home loan, groceries that you cook at home, electricity, water, and gas, your phone if you need it for work, transport to get to work, and basic medicines. That's your core. And you might be thinking, that's it? Yes, and that's exactly the point. When you actually put numbers to this, something interesting shows up. If you look at what this survival on looks like at 25,000, 40,000, and 60,000 take home income, even in the same city, the numbers are very different. Look at the bottom number. That's your real survival amount. And for most people, it's lower than they expected. And that gap between what you thought you needed and what you actually need is exactly where your money has been disappearing every month. There are a few things people usually get confused about. Loan EMIs, be it personal, bike, or laptop. If missing a payment creates a real problem, like penalties or a credit hit, then it should be included in survival. If skipping it just feels uncomfortable, then it shouldn't. The money you send home every month, if it's fixed and non negotiable, treat it exactly like rent. A lot of people leave this out, but they shouldn't. Health insurance and term life. If they are part of your fixed commitments, include them. For everything else, just apply the same question. If you skip it this month, does something actually break? If yes, then it's survival. If no, then it belongs somewhere else. So at this point, you can do this in two ways. You can calculate it manually, or you can use a simple calculator I put together. If you want to do it manually, here's the simplest way. Pull up your last 2 or 3 months of statements, go through each expense, and split them into two buckets, survival and not survival. For each one, ask, if I skip this, can I still keep the lights on, have food on the table, and get to work? Once you are done, add up everything in the survival bucket. That total is your real monthly flow. It might feel uncomfortably small, that's a good thing because it means you are finally seeing what's real. Now, if you don't want to go through all of that manually and you just want to see your number quickly, I've also put together a simple calculator. You just enter your basic monthly numbers, only the essentials, and it gives you your survival amount and how long you can last. And this is where most people get surprised. It takes less than 2 minutes. You will find the link in the description. So, to quickly recap, the filter is just one question. If this disappears tomorrow, can I still keep the lights on, have the food on the table, and get to work? Everything that passes is survival, everything that doesn't is not. When you actually do this exercise, you end up with two very clear lists: things your month genuinely can't run without, and things you'd prefer not to live without, but you would. The first list is always smaller than you expected. The second list is where your money has been going. If you do calculate it, just comment calculated. But even after you know this number, you can still end up broke by the 10th. That's not discipline. That's what we fix next.